Bee Diggers are coached by Randy Dreitz, assisted by Matt Manier, Lance Schwint, Dick Creighton, David Cummings, and Court Marquez. Art Vogel, the head coach of the Academy Wildcats, assisted by Mike Ray, Matt Martz, Nate Pickens, Cody Blake, John Hill, John Seidel, Ken Stern, Paul Gilliland, and Breck Turner. Bee Diggers are dressed in their maroon uniforms with the white numerals, and the Academy in the white jerseys, green pants, and green numerals. And let's see who gets the opening kickoff, which will be brought to you by none other than State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555. Well, the longer the Academy stays in this game, the better they'll feel about themselves. That's why the Bee Diggers have to come out strong here very early. And by the way, you can follow us on Twitter at KSIR Sports. Turn on mobile notifications, and then you'll receive scoring updates as they happen, just like a text message. So if you're listening now, don't plan to listen in the next 20 or 30 minutes or whatever the case may be. If you're preoccupied, make sure you follow us on Twitter at KSIR Sports and turn on mobile notifications. And, Dave, the one thing you feel a lot better about going into the playoffs this year as opposed to last year, and we've said this many times, is special teams.
Yeah, you know, we've had a decent kicking game in the second half of the season. The beginning of the year, we suffered a little bit, but Coach Dreitz has been rotating, between three guys, and Fierro's kicked a few this year, and we had Aaron Garcilaso, a freshman, kicking some, and now we got Javier, our PAT professional, and he's going to kick this one off.
And that would be Javier Munoz to kick it off for the Bee Diggers. And this kickoff is going to head towards the sideline. Off to the right, it's going to be dropped at the 21-yard line, picked up, running across the right to the 23, and the ball is loose. It's still loose. I think the Academy fell on it. It was taken initially by Jonathan Marquez, a senior. And, in fact, the ball was landed on by Marquez himself. I don't know how he got the ball back, Dave, but he did get the ball back, and the Wildcats will have the football 1st and 10 just across the 25 to about the 26-yard line against this Bee Digger defense, which has averaged just 7 points a game this season in terms of points allowed, and much of that is not even off the first team. 1st and 10. Joey Ray is the quarterback in a shotgun. And the ball is snapped to somebody else. There's a double reverse here. And running back to the backfield at the 15-yard line to about the 17, maybe the 18 off that mess, is Anthony Ramirez. Off a second handoff, Dave. They're obviously going to try the trickery, so to keep the Bee Diggers off their toes a little bit. But that ball went from the 26 back to the 18-yard line, of loss of 8 for Ramirez. 2nd down and 18 to go.
Well, this is going to be one of those games where we're going to see a whole lot of formations. Swinging gates in the middle of the field, see some single wing action, and that was kind of the action they were trying to go with right there.
Yeah, that ball I think was snapped to Marquez before he handed it off to Ramirez. 2nd down and 18 from the 18-yard line. Again, Joey Ray, the quarterback, in a shotgun. 2 receivers out to the left. 1 running back off to the left as well. Let's see who gets the snap. It will be Ray looking for a seam across the left side, across the 25 to the 30. Still has the sideline, and he's tackled at about the 31-yard line. Nico Guzman ran him out of bounds, but that's a gain of about 13 yards. And all of a sudden, it's 3rd down and about 5. The Bee Digger defense, I don't know if they were fooled there. It looked like a very basic play.
Well, this is the first time we've seen the single wing. Well, I guess we saw it against Valley, and then we saw it again earlier in the year against Ray. But that was a direct snap right to Ray. They don't have that spinner back there or anything, but they do have a back that's lined up right behind the guard, lead blocking. So again, the Diggers just going to have to learn to read to follow their keys.
Oscar Soto and Maverick Seawald in the middle of that defensive line. 3rd and 5 from the 31-yard line on the opening drive of the game. The Academy with a football on their own side of the field. The Bee Diggers only rushing 4 if this is going to be a pass. Let's be to Ray or a direct snap to somebody else, and that will go to the back running to his right across the 25 to the 30-yard line. No, that is Ray trying to snap out of tackles, and he's down. He was almost lined up like a running back. He loses a yard, plenty of penetration. Mikey Gutierrez and Chase Klein were in there for a loss of 1. It'll be 4th down and 6 to go for the Academy.
they try to fool us. They loaded up that left side on their own sideline as they're heading south, and they were trying to make us think they were going to run to the strong side. They came back over here with sort of that naked bootleg to the right. The Diggers just really fast on defense, and they can get back there and keep that guy from being able to turn the corner on.
Zach Morgan to punt for the Academy, standing at his own 20-yard line. Randy Baker at his own 30 for Brush. The Bee Diggers have blocked, I believe, 3 punts this season. There's the snap. Here comes the rush, a low line drive end over end. It bounces to the 38, and it takes a Bee Digger roll back to the 39-yard line. That's where the Bee Diggers will start. A punt of 31 yards. Bee Digger starting lineup brought to you by Blodorn Lumber. At blodornlumber.com, you can view the current sales, complete a credit application, and shop the entire inventory online at 130 State Street. Visit Blodorn Lumber. So it'll be at the 40 officially. With 9:12 to go in the opening quarter, Brush getting their first possession. Kyle Rosenbrock is the quarterback. In the backfield will be Mikey Gutierrez and Randy Baker. Alec Peterson also the action back there. Kalen Brandt, the tight end. Of course, the offensive line pretty solid as well that we'll get into. 1st and 10 for the 40-yard line, and there's the give to Gutierrez across the right side, across the 45, and he spins his way to the 50-yard line, and he's got a first down. It looks like from this vantage point, it's a gain of 10. Joey Ray and 3 others were in there for the Wildcats to make the tackle. He might be just a smidgen short because now they're going to apparently measure.
I noticed Digger's offensive line changed up a little bit. I see Tristan Cedar over here, our usual center. It looks like Joe Carwin's the center right now, and looks like we got Soto over there playing Carwin's old guard position. So, boy, they've added Oscar Soto to the offensive end of the ball as well.
1st and 10 at midfield for the Bee Diggers. 3 in the backfield. In motion to the right is Peterson. Rosenbach turns, hands it off to Baker, right side. He's got a sideline to the 40, across the 30-yard line, still on his feet, cuts it back to the inside at the 20. Baker with some incredible moves at the 10-yard line. He might go, and he is out of bounds, but Randy Baker just tiptoeing his way up the right sideline. It's a 1st and goal for the Bee Diggers, as they have yet to spot the football, but he nearly went the distance on that play.
Yeah, there was a lot of jigger-bug in there, and you almost thought he was out of bounds over here on about the 25. But, he stayed on his feet. He actually ducked under a really high tackle attempt and just headed upfield. A lot of the other kids quit. Randy Baker was the only one that kept running.
It's a gain of 47 for Randy Baker. That was quite a run, Dave. And I think just 1 yard shy of his longest run of the year.
It was meant to go off tackle, but he bounced it outside.
1st and goal for the Bee Diggers at the 3-yard line. There's the give right up the middle, and that's a touchdown. A touchdown for the Bee Diggers. Mikey Gutierrez was pretty much untouched from 3 yards away. And just over 3.5 minutes into the game, the Bee Diggers lead 6-0 on a 3-yard run by the junior Mikey Gutierrez, his 8th touchdown of the year.
Yeah, nothing fancy there, just some dives over on the right side. Here on the left side, you got Seawald over here, you got Soto over here, and then Carwin running that center position. Oh my goodness, there's some strength there, but they ran to the right side, and Academy's got their big lug, number 67, lined up across from Seawald, but we didn't even run that way.
Javier Munoz to attempt the extra point up the hole of Hirschfeld. Perfect snap. The kick is up, and that kick is good. 8:25 to go, opening quarter in the opening round of the 2A playoffs. Brush 7, the Academy nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Dave Urich back from Bee Digger Stadium. Bee Diggers take a 7-0 lead on a 3-yard run by Mikey Gutierrez, a 3-play, 60-yard drive in 47 seconds. And the ensuing kickoff, it was a 7-yard advance by Jonathan Marquez to the 37-yard line. So the Academy has it 1st and 10 from there. Their second drive of the game, their first was a 3-and-out. In a shotgun formation is Joey Ray. There's 2 anticipating the snap. This one will go to Ray. He bounces off a Bee Digger to the outside across the 40, and then he's tackled at the 41-yard line. It's a gain of 4, and all types of penetration there by the Bee Diggers. And Alec Peterson was in there along with Jake Brown. 2nd down and 6 to go for the Academy.
Yeah, that's just a single wing they're lined up in. Like I said, they have that blocking back that's lined up behind one of the guards. They have 2 guys that are standing up there in the backfield. But unlike Ray, where they have that spinner back that makes it hard to find where the ball is at and allows for all the fakes, Academy is not doing that. It's a direct snap to whoever's going to run the ball so far.
Again, follow us on Twitter at KSIR Sports, and you get immediate updates. 2nd down and 6 from the 41-yard line. lining up on the right hash mark. Again, you don't know which one of the two is going to get the snap, but Ray gets most of the snaps. This time, Ray's going to get the handoff off the initial snap across the 45. A flag is down, and he's close to a first down at the 47. Running left and right was Joey Ray. Mikey Gutierrez in on the tackle, but let's see if this is going against the Academy, thus nullifying a 6-yard gain. And the preliminary indication is a chop block against the Academy. That's always a very dangerous penalty if you're a defender, Dave.
Yeah, that's how Soto almost got hurt last week at Fort Lupton. It actually did get dinged up a little bit. Luckily, he's back on the field today.
That 3-yard touchdown run by Mikey Gutierrez brought to you by MMI International. Before your next mixer or feeder truck purchase, compare the MMI design, craftsmanship, and service. They continually outperform their competitors hands down. Call them 842-5161 MMI International. That penalty hurts. That goes back to the 26-yard line, so a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. And that means that it will be 2nd down and 21 to go. And we know that when the Bee Diggers force teams to pass, they come up with turnovers, and it wouldn't surprise me here.
Well, we got a good pass rush up there with Klein on one side, Brand on the other side, and then Soto and Seawald there in the middle. That's a good defensive line.
J.J. Pita back there with Joey Ray. 2nd and 21 from the 26 out of a shotgun formation. Will it be Pita or Ray? Long count. 3 seconds on the play clock. There's a snap. And to throw Pita off his back leg, the pass is picked off. It is picked off by Jake Brown as it was a jump ball at the 43-yard line between him and Anthony Ramirez, and Brown picks it off. And the Bee Diggers are in business already in the Academy territory.
Well, Brant put all kinds of pressure on Ray. He had to throw the ball, and Brant put a shoulder pad right in his solar plexus. And then Brown timed it perfectly. He just let the ball hang up there, and at the last minute stepped in front and jumped in there and caught the ball.
Dave, that's what happens when you're a basketball player, too. He knows how to do that. But the official spot is actually the 42 of the Academy, 42-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bee Diggers. One setback, that's Mikey Gutierrez. Receiver split to the left and right. And in motion to the right is Baker. Back to throw. Rosenbrock to his right. Wide open is Baker. Tries to dodge a tackler, but he's down after a gain of about 5 at the 37-yard line. Play over there made by Devin Caswell, the junior. 2nd down and 5 to go for Brush, leading 7-0 on Mikey Gutierrez's 3-yard run.
Yeah, that was just a nice out pattern there run by Baker. They tried to have their outside linebacker cover him, but he just couldn't get over there in time to even make a play for the ball.
Peterson is the receiver to the left. To the right is Brown. On the inside slot to the right is Nico Guzman. The lone setback once again is Mikey Gutierrez. Again, back to throw. Rosenbrock looking over the middle. The pass going to be incomplete. Off the right hand of Guzman, well defended by Joey Ray. 3rd down and 5 to go for Brush at the Academy 37.
Yeah, Academy's got 4 guys up there on the defensive line, 2 big guys down there, defensive tackles playing across from our guards, and then the defensive ends are standing up. And it looks like they have about 5 linebackers. They cheated one up over on our right side, and he actually blitzed that B gap. And that's, I think, what the coaches were trying to do, is just try to throw the ball into the seam in between those linebackers and the free safety, Ray.
3rd down and 5 to go for the Bee Diggers at the Academy 37. Receivers split left and right. They're split in the backfield as well. There's the give off the left side to Baker, and he drives his way inside the 35 to the 32. That looks like a first down for the Bee Diggers. Some strong running by the senior running back as the tackle was made over there by Christian Johnson. But it's a gain of 5, and it's a first down for Brush.
So 53 yards on 2 carries for Baker. And like you said, he was just running with a lot of strength. And not the first time we've run over here behind Soto and Seawald. Usually we've been over there behind Nichols and Rodriguez.
The Bee Diggers have the football at the 32-yard line, looking to score for the 2nd time in as many drives. Bee Diggers have more touchdowns this year, a lot more touchdowns than even punts attempted. It's not even close. 1st and 10. Of course, they're certainly not in that territory anyway. And there's the give right up the middle and a big hole across the 30 to the 25, inside the 25. And that's Mikey Gutierrez. Going to mark him down actually right there, a gain of 7. 2nd down and 3 to go. Once again, that is Christian Johnson getting off the bottom of the pile, making the tackle. 2nd down and 3.
Our line is just dominating. see those academy defensive linemen. They're just kind of on roller skates and standing straight up and just getting blown back.
Yeah, the Bay Diggers even have the speed advantage with the line. You can see they're firing off. 2nd down and 3 from the 25-yard line. Again, Baker, Peterson, and Gutierrez are in the backfield. In motion to the right is Alec Peterson. Rosenbrock on the pitch right. And there's running room to the outside for Gutierrez. 1st down as he barrels into a defender inside the 20 to about the 18. Strong running for Mikey Gutierrez. And they'll give him the 17, a gain of 8, and the Beat Diggers are back in the red zone.
The 28 yards on 4 carries for Mikey. Nothing fancy, just a quick pitch over there to the right side with Nichols leading the way with his pull.
Yeah, and with Mikey's speed, automatically you're going to get at least 3 or 4 yards, if not more. Lining up on the short side of the field to the right, 1st and 10 on the Academy 17-yard line. The backs are split. There's the give to Baker, and he's got very little. He was hit at the 16-yard line, a gain of 1. Christian Johnson, if they can block him, Dave, they'll be running for a while because he's made about 3 tackles over the last 4 or 5 plays.
He looks like a football player out there, real stocky-looking kid. Looks like he's got some pretty big legs and pretty stout. We don't have any height or size for him, but he looks like a pretty salty inside linebacker.
2nd down and 9 to go. Kalen Brandt checks out of the lineup. The Beat Diggers come in with a heavy receiver set here. Nico Guzman off to the right, and Peterson and Brown to the left. Randy Baker also lined up as a receiver to the right. On set back is Mikey Gutierrez. 2nd and 9 from the 16. Rosenbrock back to throw. Throws it to his left. Caught by Brown at the 10-yard line. Makes a cut, and it's down at the 10-yard line. Trying to get to the 9, but his knee was down. Defended by Isaiah Sanchez. A gain of 6. 3rd down and 3 to go for Brush.
So that was just a beautiful passer. I'll tell you what. He hit him right on the numbers. Jake just tried to, he was headed back towards the middle, but he tried to spin out and go back to the outside. That's when he lost his footing.
Temperature in the upper 50s right now, approaching the low 60s. A beautiful day in Brush. 3rd down and 3 to go from the 10-yard line. We're under 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Brush leading the Academy 7-0. 3 in the backfield. Who will get the football? And there was movement on the right side. It looked like Peterson, or checked at, not Peterson, but I think Gutierrez nudged a little bit on that right side. That's the first penalty against the Beat Diggers. So now they'll set up a 3rd down and 8 to go from the 15-yard line. Obviously 4-down territory.
Yeah, Rosenbrock must have went on a long count that time. The offensive line stayed put, but Mikey went ahead and jumped just a little bit.
They still might run it here. 3rd and 8 is not necessarily a passing play for the Beat Diggers, knowing that they'll have 2 opportunities to gain a total of 8 yards. From the 15-yard line, handoff, Baker right side, cuts it back to the 10, still on his feet, and he is close to a 1st down at the 7-yard line. He's right at the stick. Will they measure or give him the 1st down? They won't measure. It's a 1st down for the Beat Diggers, and that football just inside the 7. A gain of 8 for Randy Baker as the Beat Diggers approach the 9th play of the drive. They're eating up some time here, well over 4 minutes on this drive.
Diggers just use that decoy of Soto and Seawald over here. Brandt's the tight end on this side as well, and we're just not running behind those big guys and just having a lot of luck running over there to the other side behind Rodriguez and Nichols.
Good tight end offense here. Brandt to the left, Shaver to the right. And in motion to the left is Gutierrez. There's the handoff left side to Baker. Tries to swing it to the outside, and he's still on his feet, and he's still going hard. And going to be down right at the 7-yard line. They threw him back to the 9 or 10, but the forward progress was at the 7. Billy Mays was in on the hit, only a freshman, but he looks a lot bigger than that. 2nd down and goal from the 7.
Yeah, he tried to keep his feet and keep running, but there was just nothing doing. A lot of those academy guys started piling on, and you can tell they're sending the linebacker once in a while because that's what plugs things up. Yeah, what a quick-moving first quarter. We're down to 1:25 to go. 2nd down and goal from the 7. This is the 10th play of the drive for Brush. Rosenbrock with 2 in the backfield. He's going to pitch it right to Gutierrez. Cuts it back to the 5-yard line, then is spun down inside the 5 by none other than Christian Johnson, who tackles him at the 3. It's a gain of 4. 3rd down and goal to go for the Beat Diggers. But Johnson shot through the middle of our offensive line and actually caught him from behind. We're down to 56 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Gutierrez is the lone scorer of the game on a 3-yard run. 3rd and goal
from the 3. Beat Diggers moments ago converted to 3rd and 8 from the 15-yard line. And if they don't score here, this could be the final play of the opening quarter, which means they'd have to go a long way just to get back to the other side of the field. Let's see if they can take care of business right now. 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. Rosenbrock is going to throw it to the left, and it's caught for a touchdown just beyond the goal line. A touchdown. Nico Guzman, who had 4 touchdowns last week, has got his first one of the game, and the Beat Diggers now lead 13-0. That one from 3 yards away again.
So Rosenbrock 3 for 4 throwing the football. Great catch there by Guzman. He put both hands up here. He didn't catch it against his belly. It wasn't a forearm catch. He used both his hands and caught it just above his head.
Now the extra point to be attempted by Javier Munoz. Hirschfeld to hold. Letting the snap, it's there. That kick is up, and he boots that, and that one is just inside the left upright with 27.8 seconds to go. We'll keep it right here since we're almost at the end of the opening quarter, and the Beat Diggers with a 14-0 lead. 11-play drive. 6 minutes and 8 seconds to go 42 yards, David. Sometimes the Beat Diggers don't always do it very quickly.
Yeah, but, they did it with control. Just controlling the ball and running the plays they want to run and doing each one successfully, Things will start opening up because we talked about tenderizers and academies blitzing linebackers, and they have, 8 guys up there really close, sometimes 9. They're not making the mistakes Fort Lupton made by not having a free safety back there, which is one of the reasons Rosenbrock didn't complete the only pass he didn't complete today. But, they're going to have to start trying to sense more people and change up their formations up front if they're going to stop our running game, and that's going to open up those big passes like what we had last week.
The Beat Diggers taking advantage. Rosenbrock with his 11th touchdown of the season. There's a kick to the 20-yard line. Ball is bobbled over there, picked up at the 21, running to the 25-yard line, and down at the 27 for the Academy is Anthony Ramirez. A return of close to 7 yards. With 21.6 seconds to go, the Academy has the football here in the opening quarter at the 27. Alec Peterson made the play. Brush already has come up with a turnover in this game, an interception by Jake Brown that set it all up for Brush.
Clay Shaver was one of the first ones down there again on that kickoff. I'll tell you what, he hustles down there. You can tell he's trying to rip the ball away.
Well, he really likes special teams. Out of a shotgun, who will get the direct snap? That is going to go right up the middle and a big seam across the 30 to the 33. That's J.J. Pita. And a gain of 6, and that'll be the end of the opening quarter with the score. Brush 14, the Academy nothing. You are listening to the opening round of the Class 2A playoffs from Beat Digger Stadium in Brush on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Beat Diggers lead 14-0 over the Academy. I'm John Beltran with Dave Urig as we begin the second quarter in the opening round of the Class 2A playoffs. Mikey Gutierrez with a 3-yard touchdown run. Nico Guzman with a 3-yard touchdown catch. 2nd down and 4. The Academy has the football at their own 33. Direct snap right up the middle, and I believe that is Ray this time. He's got a yard to the 34-yard line, running into the middle of the Beat Digger pack, including Baker and Gutierrez. 3rd down and 3 to go for the Academy.
They sent Pita back in the game, so look for him to get it. But again, just out of that single wing formation, very slow, no spinning.
From the 34 on 3rd down and 3 yards to go. The Academy looking for their initial first down of the game in this 14-0 hole. Awaiting the direct snap. They're letting that play clock run. It's down to 2 seconds. Awaiting the snap still. He's got it off. It goes to Pita. Running to his right to the 35. First down across the 40. And then he's tackled at the 43-yard line by Alec Peterson. But a very productive run of 9 yards. And a first down for the Wildcats.
Yep, just a direct snap to him running over the right side. That wasn't behind their blocking back. Their blocking back was actually lined up over here on the left side. But he pulled over there to the right side and he led block on our defensive end, and that's what opened that hole up.
The small-town dealer. The hometown values is Wolf Auto Center. Locations in Fort Morgan, Sterling, Holyoke, Sydney, and Scottsbluff. Large enough to serve your needs, small enough to know your name. Wolf Auto Center. I think the Academy is going to have to take a timeout. They're taking forever in the huddle unless they run up to the line of scrimmage and run this play. 2 seconds on the play clock for the 43, and there's the delay of game. They snapped it, but it was too late. First down and 15. You got to take a timeout there, Dave. They were in the huddle an unusually long time, and you're the underdog, a significant underdog, a prohibitive underdog. You cannot afford to lose any yards, especially before the snap of the football.
Not in playoff football, especially, but they had a hard time getting their play in the game the way it was. And every single one of their plays, you can tell their quarterback Ray looks back here at the back judge and waits for him to start swinging his arm before he even gets the ball off. So they're just trying to keep the game close and not let it get too far ahead, and they want to hold on to the ball as long as they can.
First and 15 from their own 38-yard line. 10:38 to go second quarter. Brush 14, the Academy nothing. Out of his shotgun with the footballs. Ray running it up the middle of the 40-yard line. Breaks out of a tackle, and he's down at the 45. That's a gain of 7. The Digger coaches can't be too happy about that. On that first and 15, tackle made by Arnoldo Maltos Garcia and Eddie Arribas, and I think Maltos Garcia might be cramping out there. It'll be second down and 8 after the gain of 7. He gets up limping a little bit, but he's all right.
Yeah, Baker was our middle linebacker, and he shot in there. He read the play perfectly, but he ran right past Ray, kind of tried to use arm tackle to slow him down, and just can't do that. He's going to have to break down and get his head in front.
Second down and 8 from the 45-yard line. The Academy just picked up their first down of the game. Again in a shotgun formation, one receiver to the left, everybody bunched in tight. Not very much spread out. Ray's going to spin at the 40-yard line, do the 45, and then stiff arms a defender. He's going to be driven out of bounds by Gutierrez at the 48-yard line. He'll pick up 3 yards. Third down and 5 to go for the Academy on their own side of the field.
He's their workhorse, 27 yards on 6 carries. Gutierrez did a good job. He got his head in front. He wasn't clear up there around his shoulder pads. He was in the mid part of his body. He could have used the sideline a little bit better and just drove him out of bounds so that Ray didn't pick up an extra 3 yards.
Northeast Colorado's locally owned Hometown Savings and Loan with locations in Fort Morgan and Brush. Equitable Savings and Loan. They have financial solutions for you. 3rd and 5 from their own 48-yard line. Awaiting the snap out of the shotgun. Play clock is now at 4. There's the snap to Pita, running to his right. There's plenty of traffic over there. He's to the 50. He's got a first down. The Beat Diggers couldn't make the play, even though they had a few defenders in the backfield. He's down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 8 yards for J.J. Pita. And the drive continues for the Wildcats.
He's the man for them. He's got 23 yards on 3 carries. Brent did a really good job as defensive end over there. He got upfield. He forced him to turn it up, but we just didn't have any linebacker support there to make the tackle.
Remember, Kyle Rosenbrock is not playing in this game defensively. So that makes this unit a little bit weaker because he did lead the team in tackles this year, but that play definitely should have been made. 1st and 10 from the Brush 44-yard line, approaching the 9-minute and 10-second mark of the second quarter. 14-0 Beat Diggers. Direct snap to Pita. He hands it off back to the left, and there's plenty of Beat Diggers in the backfield there. They don't even bring it down the ball carrier. There was Brandt, there was Klein, there was Maltos Garcia. The ball carrier for the Academy was Devin Caswell, and he lost a yard to the 45-yard line. 2nd down and 11 to go for the Academy.
That time their offense did spin. They snapped the ball back there to Ray, and after he received the snap, he spun around and then handed it off to Caswell. So that's the only time we've seen the single wing working the way we typically do.
From the 45 of the Beat Diggers, 2nd down and 11 to go. Now, this offense is unlike any other offense the Beat Diggers really seen. Everybody bunched in real tight. It's almost like they're only operating with about 10 yards of the field. Direct snap to Pita, and there's a double handoff, and that's going to be a mess, and the Beat Diggers are responsible for that mess because they tackle, looks like, another ball carrier back at the 48. Kalen Brandt made the play. It's a loss of 3. And that handoff went to R.J. Sanchez. I believe that's his first carry of the game. It'll be 3rd down and 14 yards to go. When you try too much in terms of trickery, Dave, that can backfire.
Yeah, it's not a trick anymore. That time that was a double wing. So that was the same offense that we see Faith Christian come out. And here they are in that double wing look again, even though they're going to go with the shotgun snap.
Well, let's see if they pass out of this formation. 3rd down and 14 from the Brush 48-yard line. It's more than likely would go to Joey Ray, who is their number 1 passer, awaiting the snap. Ray has the football, play action, looking to throw to his left. That pass is off the hands of the intended receiver at the 38-yard line, incomplete. Defended by Eddie Arribas. Anthony Ramirez had to go off the fingertips. 4th down and 14 yards to go for the Academy.
Rivas had good coverage. He was right behind him. He was right in the area. Had he caught the ball, he'd have been tackled right away. He also had some really good pressure on Reyes. He tried to throw the ball over there from Seawald and Brant coming over on our defensive left side.
Zach Morgan to punt for the Academy. Hard to believe the Beat Diggers only had the football twice. There's the snap. Here comes the rush. A low line drive punt. Bounces at the 10 and into the end zone. Strong punt there by Zach Morgan. 48 yards, a net of 20, so the Beat Diggers have 80 yards to go to get back into the end zone. But, yeah, the Academy has run, 14 plays, 5 over their first 2 drives, but 9. Well, that would be the 10th on the punt there. And now it'll be Beat Digger football. And, Dave, you're right. They're just trying to shorten this game, not extend it, shorten it to stay in the game as long as possible.
Yeah, they just want to keep our offense off the field and keep the score as tight as they can and then hope for a couple of our mistakes to cost us. Well, so far it's not going to work because our offense is playing well.
Yeah, but the Beat Diggers have not had a huge play yet. They've had one, that 47-yard run by Baker. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Peterson is in motion to the right. Rosenbrock, play action, looking to throw, steps up, pressure coming. Out to his right, wide open is Brown at the 40. Brown along the sideline to the 50. Brown with speed, up the sideline to the 20. Brown is going to be gone. 80 yards, Rosenbrock to Brown. And the Beat Diggers now lead 20-0. Holy mahungus.
You know what broke that open? Rosenbrock rolled over here to the right side, gave himself a little bit more time, and Brown was wide open. It was a perfect pass. But Dick made just a really quick little move to the middle, and that's what stopped the Academy cornerback from closing in on him, and then he cut it back to the outside. And then when that kid was trying to close in, Peterson made the big block. When he blocked the first guy, he actually knocked him into the second guy. So the 2 guys that were chasing Brown were both out of bounds over here on about the 40-yard line because of Peterson.
Just a nice little dump off to Brown. He went 60 of the 80 yards, and Kyle Rosenbrock has 2 touchdown passes in the game. The extra point to be attempted is going to be up. That looks good, and that one is good. 7:14 to go before the break. Brush 21, the Academy nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. One play, an 80-yard pass from Kyle Rosenbrock to Jake Brown. Turns into a 13-second play, and the Beat Diggers now lead 21-0. That kick is going to drop at the 18-yard line to the 20, across to his left to the 30-yard line, and there's a seam to the 45, and from behind, the tackle is made at the 50 by Cameron Alexander. Anthony Ramirez with a rather impressive return of 37 yards, and the Academy has the football at midfield, but thank goodness there for Alexander. If not, it could have been 6 for the Academy.
You know, there was so much hang time there that we had plenty of time to get down there and cover the play, but our guys went down there and they broke down, and Ramirez, he just ran right in between our guys.
1st and 10 from midfield for the Academy. Brush with a 21-0 lead. Gutierrez, Guzman, and Brown with the touchdowns in the game. Direct snap to Ray, looking to his right. It's actually to Pita. Cross the 50 to the 45, and he's down right there. Gain of 5 yards in a play. Nico Guzman was in on the tackle, as well as Jose Rodriguez. 2nd down and 5 to go for the Wildcats.
So they're back in that single wing look, just direct snapping it to Pita, and evidently they're, after that terrible run they had with the double wing, they're not going to give that a go.
For the Beat Digger 45, 2nd down and 5 yards to go. We'll just go to Ray on 2nd down. Awaiting the snap, and there's the give. The direct snap goes to the underneath man and maybe a yard. And that was to Devin Caswell to the 44-yard line. Kalen Brandt with the initial hit. 3rd down and 4 to go. Nothing fancy, as you mentioned, Dave. On a couple of plays, yeah, they try the tricks, but those tricks really haven't worked, as you mentioned. That's why they're almost better playing straight-up football.
Right. They just brought Pita back in the game, so you can bet, he's going to be getting the ball again because he's the only one having any luck. 28 yards on 4 carries.
On that right hash mark, 3rd down and 4 for the Academy at the Beat Digger 44-yard line. 5:48 to go, opening half. Rush 21, the Academy nothing. Winner of this game will take on either Florence or Strasburg, playing right now in Florence. Out of the shotgun once again. Play clock is at 5. Down to 3. The direct snap to Pita. 1st down right up the gut. Breaking tackles across the 35 to the 33. And there's an offensive lineman hurt there for the Academy, but it's a gain of 9. And a first down for the Wildcats. And, oh, boy, that could be a huge injury because that's Christian Johnson, who's been their best defender so far in the game. You'd have to assume he's one of their better, if not the best, offensive linemen.
Yeah, he's probably their most physical player. He's down there. He looks like he's hurt.
With 5.5 to go, your one-stop center for home improvement projects is Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush, your one-stop shop for flooring, paint, tools, appliances, and more. Ackley Building Center. And if you're tired of the same old lunch and dinner menu, switch it up. Pick up something new from the hot and cold deli selection at Stubbs Gas and Oil. Great food, low prices. Stubbs Gas and Oil in Wiggins. Johnson will get up. Let's see what part of the body he's favoring. Looks like a leg. Looks like his left leg.
He was feeling around his ankle down there.
1st and 10 at the Beet Digger 33-yard line. Yeah, there are certain plays, Dave, that you feel the absence of Kyle Rosenbrock because he is their leading tackler. Anytime the leading tackler's out, I think that's only natural.
And he's the one that's had all those reps in there at that middle linebacker. So, he's had the most practice making his reads and filling those holes, flowing to where the play's at. You got a new guy in there that's not doing it as much, and you're going to have a few more, he's not going to make the reads as quickly.
From the 33, Caswell back there with Joey Ray, 1st and 10 in Beet Digger territory. The Beet Diggers have generated 3 shutouts at home this year. Can they do it in the playoffs today against the Academy? So far, so good. Direct snap goes to Caswell, spins, fakes a handoff, runs to his left, nearly tripped up. Randy Baker got a piece of the cleat, and he still wasn't going down, but then dropped to the ground at the 34-yard line for a loss of 1, 2nd down and 11. Excellent play by the senior Randy Baker.
Yeah, he did a good job reading there, and he ran up there and he filled basically off tackling. Got there a little bit late, but he dove in there and shoestring tripped him.
2nd down and 11. No completed passes yet for the Academy. Anthony Ramirez is the receiver to the right from the Beet Digger 34. J.J. Pita also in that backfield. Ramirez, the lone receiver in on this play. Wow, they're not in a hurry at all. Most of these plays inside of 5 seconds on the play clock. Direct snap. Pita running off right tackle, cuts it back to the middle, across the 30, and down at about the 26-yard line. Solid run before Matos Garcia makes the tackle. It's a gain of 8. Well, to the 25, actually. Give them 9, and it's 3rd down at about 2.
Yeah, 45 yards now on 6 carries. And what's happening is we're just falling for the fake. They spin around. Ray gets the ball, and he spins and hands the ball off. Or else on that play, it was just a direct snap to Pita. But Ray still spins around, and then he runs off to the right side, and the linebackers are falling for it and leaving the middle, and that leaves it wide open.
3rd and 2 at the Beet Digger 25. Undoubtedly, they'll go for it if they don't pick up the 2 yards here. Ray or Caswell, who gets the direct snap, goes to Caswell, running to his right, across the 25, and boy, somehow he squeezed his way into a small hole for a first down towards the 21, a gain of 4. I don't know how they're doing it because there's very little space in there. Everybody bunched in tight. But the Academy picks up another first down on this drive as they approach the 7th play of the drive.
I think our guy might have piled on and actually shoved him forward.
They're taking up a lot of time as well. This drive started with 7:07 to go. Now we're at 3:07 of the second quarter. Brush 21, the Academy nothing. 1st and 10 for the Beet Digger 21-yard line. The Academy looking to inch a little bit closer as the Beet Diggers have scored on all 3 possessions. The direct snap goes to Ray. Ray up the middle. He's hit by Seawolf hard across the 20, maybe to the 18. Short gain. 2nd down, and we will call it 7 yards to go, a gain of 3.
Yeah, so Pita jumped up in the air and spun around and tried to create a little bit of a diversion, and we did have some guys fall for it, but luckily Swope stayed home and made that tackle.
2nd down and 7 from the Beet Digger 18-yard line. One receiver out to the left, but receivers have been insignificant for the Academy so far. This is all about the running game. The direct snap is going to go to Ray, runs right up the middle, and he barrels his way inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. That's a gain of 5. Seawald made the hit again, 3rd down and 2. Let me tell you, they're running in areas the Beat Diggers are used to running in.
Yeah, but the reason is we had 2 linebackers that were out here with falling for the fake. So, as long as our linebackers are leaving the middle and they're not reading their keys and they're just trying to follow that spinner and follow where they think they see the action with those weird diversion tactics that the Academy uses, like jumping up in the air and spinning around, it's going to leave the middle wide open.
3rd and 2 from the Beat Digger 13-yard line. This has turned into a very long drive for the Academy time-wise. After that kickoff, a return to the 50-yard line. Out of a shotgun, direct snap. And there is the quarterback, Ray, running to his left to the 15-yard line. And he's trying to drive to the 11, but he's hit at the 13, down at the 12. And there was a tackle there by Chase Klein that prevented Ray from getting to the 11. It's a gain of 1, 4th and 1 to go. And this is where the Beat Diggers have been their strongest all season, that red zone defense.
Yeah, usually we get a pretty good surge upfield. Let's see if Academy goes with a long count on this now.
Well, they're running out of time, too. They need a 1st down, but we're only down to 50 seconds to go. 5-0 in the opening half, down 21-0 is the Academy. From the 12, direct snap, Peter, right side, and he's hit at the 11. Got to the 10. That's going to be a 1st down, a gain of 2. I think the Academy is going to stop the clock with 42.3 seconds to go before Junior Cookie Barraza was in on the play. Oh, hold on. Are they going to backtrack it to the 11? No, it should be the 10, yeah. Gain of 2 for the 1st. And they're not going to stop the clock. Well, they're not going to score by running the football unless the Beat Diggers make a defensive mistake, considering that there are just 30 seconds to go. 30.2 as they take a timeout. I'm not sure about that clock management, Dave.
I looked at their coaches. There was 3 of them over there helping make the offensive call. And then they looked over and saw what the clock was, and all of a sudden all of them jumped up and called timeout. So their coaches lost track of how much time was left in the half.
Well, what's the Academy's best defense? A ball control offense. Yep. And other teams have tried that against the Beat Diggers this season. And they've been successful keeping the ball away from Brush. The thing is, as I mentioned, that red zone defense for Brush has been so good. We saw that a couple of games ago against Sterling. They had 3 double-digit play drives, but Brush won the game 41-0. This is when Brush plays their best football as they're backed towards the goal line.
Yeah, they do. They've been, and they haven't broken. That's definitely been one of their strong points. The biggest thing we have to do today is we just have to get back into the swing of reading your keys, so we're just, our linebackers are leaving their area and falling for the fakes.
A very fast-moving opening 24 minutes. 1st and goal from the 10. I think they're going to have to pass the football or do something odd in order to get into the end zone. They do have a couple of timeouts remaining. Direct snap to Caswell. Fakes, looking to throw out to his right. Man is out there. Touchdown in the back of the end zone. It is caught from 10 yards away by Anthony Ramirez, and the Academy is on the board. It's Brush 21, the Academy 6.
Yeah, Caswell did a good job throwing the ball. He just made a little fake there to Ray, and they just sent their guy out from that tight end position, just running right to the back pylon in the corner over there, and Brown just couldn't get over there in time to knock the ball down. He was trying to make a play for it, but just a step late.
What a drive. 50 yards, and they took 6 minutes and 42 seconds. And they've got this swinging gator. They're going to go for 2 or kick the extra point. I would think they're going to kick the extra point, but let's see. Who's going to get the direct snap? No, it's going to be to Peter. Peter's going to hand it off to Zach Morgan. He's hit at the 5-yard line. Nowhere close as the Beat Diggers make the play. Alec Peterson in on the tackle. So with 25.9 seconds to go, it is 21-6 in favor of Brush. Dave, the Beat Diggers, they're not going to be done scoring here. If they get decent field position, they're going to go for it here at the end of the opening half. And I know the coaches are not happy about giving up a touchdown, and it's only a 15-point game. This is one of their smallest leads at halftime all season.
Right. I think the part that they're not going to be happy about is the fact that, they were methodically moving the ball down the field, and we couldn't stop them.
Yeah, they picked up some 3rd downs, picked up a 4th down and a 4th and 1. So the kickoff will be forthcoming. Will the Wildcats squib the ball?
I was thinking the same thing. They better be ready. They could go for an onside kick here. You got to believe they're not going to want to put that ball back there in Maltos' hands.
Well, they might onside kick it to begin the second half as well, which is a little bit different than a squib, but there are some similar features to it. Zach Morgan is not going to kick it off here. This will be Elijah Morgan, and he will squib it, and the ball's going to bounce and still bounce, fielded at the 20-yard line to the 25 as Matos Garcia to the 30, looking for a seam. He's down at the 35. Tackled by Joel Franco. 22 seconds to go. And the Beat Diggers have timeouts to play with.
Where that seam was opening up for Maltos, wasn't it? He ran right to the middle, and you could see it just open up right over here towards the Digger sideline. At the last minute, that Franco jumped in there and grabbed him by the ankles.
Well, Kyle Rosenbrock does have 2 touchdown passes. And they've got Brown, Guzman, and Baker as receivers to the left.
Well, they're in prevent.
Well, they might be going for it here. 1st and 10 for the 35. Rosenbrock will hand it off right up the middle. There's a hole for Gutierrez at the 45 to the 50. Gutierrez to the outside of the 40. He's got the sideline to the 30. Back to the middle and back to the sideline, and he's down at the 15-yard line. Cutting left and right was Mikey Gutierrez. A gain of 50 for the junior. And a first down for the Beat Diggers, 11.6 seconds to go before the break.
So 82 yards on 6 carries for Mikey. And that time Academy, they had 2 safeties back there. They were about 12 yards off the ball. Their corners were back, giving us about a 7 to 10 yard cushion. So they only had 6 guys up there to stop the run, and it just wasn't enough.
How many times have the Beat Diggers gone to that spread with trips to the left or right and run that for a long gain? And they did it right there. As the timeout brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call. 842-4555. 11.6 seconds to go. And the Beat Diggers, I believe, still have 2 timeouts. And yeah, they do. So they can go to the air, because obviously they can still go to the ground, but that passing game has worked so far today. That would be demoralizing to the Academy if Brush would score after the Academy just got on the board.
Rosenbrock just stopped a whisper to Peterson and to Baker there in the backfield, so he's got 2 good receivers there for running backs.
Well, time for only a couple of plays, that's for sure, with 11.6 to go. Rosenbrock, play action, back to throw, still looking, backs up, dumps it underneath to Peterson, and he drops the ball, and that was actually a good play for Peterson. With 6 seconds to go, you catch that ball, as long as that play took to develop, the time might have run out.
Right. And Peterson, he just kind of ran that crossbuck with Baker and in that 30 series, and he ran over there to the left side, but their defensive end got upfield, and Peterson actually ran into him when he was just trying to run that little flare pass out to the left side. So Rosenbrock had to hold up, and by the time he threw it, that gave the Academy defenders a chance to close in.
Well, it's either a touchdown here or the end of the half. 2nd down and 10 for the 15. 6 seconds to go. Rosenbrock, play action, looking to throw. Off to the right, wide open. Peterson, touchdown. He dropped it all with 1.3 seconds to go. It's right in his hands. Right beyond the pylon, and he dropped the football, and he knew he should have had it. And he was going to stay inbounds, just inbounds. I think he was worried about his feet, but he was inbounds. And now it is 3rd down and 10 for the 15. Will the Beat Diggers attempt a field goal? Will they just try to get into the end zone on this play? That was a very, very well-executed play, with the exception of the incompletion. And now Beat Diggers call their final timeout, or their 2nd timeout, but the 3rd is not going to matter, so it might as well be their final one. Brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. And, yeah, Javier Munoz is out on the field and will attempt what looks to be about a 32 to 33-yard field goal. And why not, Dave? You might need him later on in the playoffs.
That's right. You better practice it. I know Peterson's got to be kicking himself for dropping it. He juggled it with 2 hands and bounced up in the air in front of him 2 or 3 times off his helmet and into his hands again, and he'd love to have that one back. But Nico Guzman was also open over the middle. He ran a post pattern, and so Rosenbrock had 2 guys to choose from.
Well, Peterson was so open. Sometimes those are the hardest to make. This will be a 33-yard field goal off the hold of Ryan Hirschfeld for Javier Munoz on the final play of the opening half, unless they happen to fake it here. There's the snap. The kick by Munoz is up. That's going to be well off to the left and short. And that's the end of the opening half. Brush 21, the Academy 6. You are listening to the opening round of the 2A playoffs from Beet Digger Stadium in Brush on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Beet Diggers with a 21-6 lead over the Academy Wildcats. Momentarily, we'll go to the third quarter from Beet Digger Stadium in Brush. The Academy did get on the board in this first half, and Dave, I think that's basically a story within itself. Anytime you're facing a team that has given up a total of 59 points all season, which includes the second-team defense, and then you score against them in a playoff game, I think that probably awoke the Beet Diggers and will provide even more motivation for this Brush defense come the second half.
Oh, yeah, they're shocked, and I'm sure they're just shaking their heads. But like we were saying off air, Diggers have nothing to be ashamed of. They're beating that team in the playoffs 21-6, and basically controlling the game, even though they haven't been able to control the clock. A W is a W by the time this thing's over with.
Well, as we've alluded to several times, the Academy has taken time off the clock, a lot of time off the clock between each and every play. They need the football back because they cannot stop the Beet Diggers. I don't want to say it sounds like a no-brainer, but I think you've got to onside kick it here. If you can't stop them anyway, the only way you're going to get the football, unless Brush gives it away, at least early here in the third quarter, is to onside kick it. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm sure the Beet Diggers are going to be aware of that possibility.
Oh, yeah, they're ready for all the tricks when they're playing a team that's just full of them. They already came out this last time and kicked it short. We'll have to see what happens, though.
The Beet Diggers are looking for a big return, and they haven't had one of those this season either, even though they've had a limited number of opportunities to return it, and that's maybe one of the reasons that Brush has not had a long kickoff return. But with only a 15-point lead, and I know that sounds absurd saying with only a 15-point lead they'll have a chance, but we had so many conversations here at the break where the Beet Diggers have been up by 20 or 30 points, and this is one of their slimmer margins, but it is playoff time. And the Academy, with a 4-5 record, they were going to show up. And it took them a while, but they did show up towards the end of the opening half. The Beet Diggers, as I mentioned, will receive the second half kickoff. I think one of the biggest developments for Brush since the early portion of the season is that passing game. I think there were a lot of worries, Dave. First 3 weeks of the season, can the Beet Diggers throw the football? And most were saying, there's not much of a passing game there. Well, you can't say that now.
No, we've got the passing game intact, that's for sure. I'll tell you what, Rosenbrock can put the ball on the money, and he's really improved it. There's all those receivers, and the coaches, finding those seams and finding a way to make those guys successful and figuring out which passes that Rosenbrock can throw better. And last week, like we said before, that he was really good over the middle. Had trouble hitting Guzman over there on the sideline, and all of a sudden this week he's throwing it really well over there in the flat.
Well, one thing is throwing a good, sharp pass, and the other thing is touch. Touch can be very difficult to develop over a short period of time, and let's face it, this season goes by pretty fast. Only 8 weeks. We had the game that wasn't played against Eaton because of the flood. But Kyle Rosenbrock is a player, just like the coaches. They pay attention to detail. They fine-tune certain things within the offense, and they've certainly perfected that as they have scored on their first 3 possessions and nearly the fourth. It was only a time element that got them here before the end of the opening half, which is why it's not larger than a 15-point lead.
I was glad to see Javier Munoz attempt that field goal there at the end of the game. We were talking in the pregame about how Gunnison had to win it against Olathe with the field goal there at the end. That's a team we could compete against in the semis, theoretically, if they end up winning today, which they should against Fort Lupton, and then if they beat Faith Christian, who's probably going to win today as well, that's a team we could see in the semis. And if they have a good kicking game, we're going to need to be able to match that with a decent kicking game. So it's good that we made those attempts.
All right, so we're still awaiting both teams getting on the field. It almost seemed like the halftime took more time than the entire opening half. The 24 minutes went by extremely quick. And let's see if they bring their hands team, so to speak, in there on the kickoff return. Rush certainly could go with that and protect against a fumble if there is an onside kick. 21-6, the Beet Diggers lead the Academy. And on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon, both teams are finally back on the field.
They got a couple of good coaching celebrations. Congrats to Pat Walters, who coached the winning flag football team today. And then also Tom Odell, our Diggers softball coach.
Yeah.
He was selected to be the state girl, one of the state softball coaches for Colorado girls softball. So congratulations to him as well.
Yeah, that's awesome considering how successful he's been. He's been the icon of the Beet Diggers softball program. And it's still a fairly young program. I believe it's just over a decade old. But certainly going extremely strong. Elijah Morgan to kick it off. Arnoldo Maltos Garcia is the deep man at his own 12-yard line. He nearly broke it the last time. And if they kick it that deep, let's see what happens. Yeah, he's going to kick it that deep, and Maltos Garcia has got it at the 8-yard line, backs up to the 7, across the 15 to the 20, looking for a seam at the 30, taking it to the outside at the 40, along the sideline to the 50. Maltos Garcia is out of bounds. A big return for the sophomore Arnoldo Maltos Garcia. About 48 yards on that kickoff return, and the Beet Diggers are in business. No surprise. And Maltos Garcia pulled that off.
Peterson was out there in front again, almost in the exact same spot where he made the big block for Brown to break it open, but he just couldn't quite get to those guys because Maltos was running down the field so fast it didn't give him a chance to set up his block.
Dave, I'm surprised they kicked it off to him. I really am. He nearly broke it last time, and if this would have been an onside kick, they would have had the same field position, really. 1st and 10 for the Academy 45. There's a handoff across the right side to Baker. He dives to the 42. The tackle made by Elijah Morgan. 2nd down and 7 to go. I think Baker just slipped a little bit. If not, he could have gained additional yardage.
Yeah, he was going down right after he got the ball. But Academy's out, and that defensive look was a little bit different. They still have those two big guys down there in those defensive tackle positions across from our guards. But their defensive end on the wide side of the field, he was standing up right across where he's supposed to be. But on this side, they didn't really have a defensive end until the last minute.
2nd down and 7 for the Beet Diggers at the Academy 42-yard line. Second play of the second half. Counter, left side, Gutierrez to the 40. Breaks a tackle to the 35. Has the sideline to the 20. He might go to the 10. Gutierrez breaks a tackle, and he's going to be out of bounds. Out of bounds inside the 10 for Mikey Gutierrez. That's almost 2 runs for touchdowns, but he broke them both. Tackled, though, in the red zone just before the half, and this time at the 6-yard line. That's a gain of 36 yards for Mikey G.
So our guard pulls over there. I believe it was Rodriguez. He pulls over there and makes a huge block on their defensive end, and then I watch Peterson bury their safety.
On 1st and 10, handoff right side to Baker. Swings it to the outside. He's got the corner for a touchdown for Randy Baker. Baker scores from 6 yards out. And Rush now leads 27-6.
That offensive line is just doing a great job blocking, and they kind of have an advantage because some of the Academy players are standing up, so it leaves their body wide open, and so we get into their body really quick. And the kids are doing a good job at driving their feet and maintaining their blocks, and not just chicken bumping off of them one time. I mean, they're just sticking with them and driving them down into the dirt.
Extra point to be attempted by Javier Munoz. Off the snap of Hirschfeld, or the hold of Hirschfeld. Low snap. The kick is up, and the extra point is good. 10:55 to go, third quarter. It's Brush 28, the Academy 6 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Omar Fierro kicks it off in a return, a very good return by Anthony Ramirez from the 20 to the 45-yard line. And the Academy has the football after the Beet Diggers went 45 yards on 3 plays. The big play, a 36-yard run by Mikey Gutierrez. The 6-yard run by Randy Baker closed out the drive. The drive took less than a minute. In fact, 55 seconds, if I got my math correct. And the Beet Diggers now with a 28-6 lead. 1st and 10 for the Academy at their own 45-yard line. Shotgun. There it goes to Ray, right up the middle. Oscar Soto has him right there after a gain of 1, grabbed him right around the waist. It'll be second down and 9 to go after the 1-yard pickup by Joey Ray.
They're hustling their plays a little bit quicker now, so we'll see if they're going to try to get up to the line and see if they can close the margin.
Well, they might be able to close the margin, but if you can't stop Rush, it's going to be a long afternoon. Second down and 9 to go for their own 46-yard line. One receiver out to the left. Oh, they're taking their time.
Yep.
They're getting the plays in quick, but they're not running them quickly. Everybody just waiting. And there's the direct snap. Running is Ray to the left, trying to take it wide to the left across the 45, and then breaks a tackle to the 50. Should have been down after a gain of 1. Alec Peterson made the play, but that's a gain of 4 yards. It'll be third down and 5, just shy of midfield for the Academy.
Well, I told you something right there. Academy's just trying to make it look good, get out of the game, and maybe try to play the whole game. Not really worried about trying to win it looks like.
Third down and 5, just shy of midfield. Yeah, they're taking so much time. I could read the whole sponsor list at this point. By the way, today's halftime show brought to you by Valley View Villa for sports rehab, short-term or long-term care needs. 815 Fremont, or call them 867-8261. Valley View Villa, there was movement. There's the flag. Oscar Soto was in the backfield, had Ray run the football, but that's illegal procedure versus the Academy. 3rd and 5 turns into a 3rd and 10. For all your farm and ranch supplies, including Purina feeds and everything, Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center. Stop by any of the Ace stores in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and their newest location at 122 Custer Street in Brush. That is Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center. 3rd down and 10 for the Academy at their own 45, clock running, and even 9 minutes to go in the third. Brush 28, the Academy 6. And the Beat Diggers have had 4 different players score today. Randy Baker being the latest. From the 45, spinning as Ray fakes another handoff, runs into the line, and he's going to be taken down at the 43-yard line. A loss of 2 for Joey Ray. Penetration by Kalen Brent. 4th and 12.
That time they ran the single wing like we're used to seeing it. He spun around, he faked the handoff to his fullback, Peter, that was standing next to him, and then he tried to fake the handoff to the slot back that was over on the right side as he came around, and then he kept it trying to run it up the middle. And that's something we're more used to seeing out of that sort of an offense.
Zach Morgan to punt from his own 32. Awaits the snap. It's a low, and here comes the pressure, and he gets it off. That's a gorgeous punt. Baker fields it at the 15, bobbles, and then retreats to the 10, back to the 15, breaks a tackle to 20, running to his right, and then he's taken down by the ankles. Very good tackle at about the 22-yard line. Randy Baker fought hard for that return. Elijah Morgan made the play, a return of about 12 yards. Beat Diggers have close to 76 yards to go. Make it 77 at their own 20, well, we'll say the 24 on the scoreboard.
I love to see Randy fielding those punts, and that's something we've really got to do here in the playoffs. We've seen that in other years where we didn't do a good job of catching the thing and it rolls down there inside the 5. And he can keep that mentality up of fielding the ball and getting it out here where offense can relax a little bit. It's sure going to help as we move forward.
1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers at their own 24-yard line, leading 28-6 with 7:55 to go in the third quarter against the Academy in this opening round 2A playoff game. In the backfield are Baker and Gutierrez. Hand off to Baker, right side across the 25 to the 30. A big seam, a first down. He runs into a blocker, and he's down at the 40-yard line. He ran into Jake Brown, who comes up limping. And it's a gain of 16 yards for Randy Baker, but that was a little bit dangerous there. Brown almost stayed down. He's still favoring that right ankle.
Yeah, he was doing a good job holding his block. He was stock blocking out there, and the Baker didn't have anywhere to go. He needed, that defender to either make a break to the right or the left, but the kid stood there and just stayed squared up with Brown, and Baker just ran right into the back of him.
1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers at their own 40-yard line on that right hash mark. One receiver out to the left. That is Brown. Rosenbrock will hand it off up the middle. A big hole for Mikey Gutierrez across the 50 to the 49-yard line. A gain of 11 as Gutierrez shot through there. And it's a first down again for the Beet Diggers.
129 yards now for Gutierrez on 8 carries. Like you said, there's a huge hole there running behind, center Carwin, and then Soto's next to him, and then out there at tackle is Seawald, and then next to Seawald's Brandt. I'm telling you what, man, there's some meat to run behind there.
Beet Diggers have 2 first downs on their first 2 plays on their second possession of the second half. Play action. Rosenbrock looks to throw over the middle. Wide open is Brandt. He's got the football at the 20. Brandt is gone. 5, touchdown. 49 yards. Rosenbrock to Brandt. Kyle Rosenbrock's 3rd touchdown of the game. Rush, 34, the Academy 6.
144 yards now. 5 for 8 Rosenbrock is, and like we said before, a couple of those passes that he's not getting credit for were dropped. Just a great day throwing the ball for Kyle, and again, give some pats on the back to those offensive linemen who are giving him plenty of time to throw it.
Now the extra point to be attempted by Javier Munoz. That's the 5th different Beet Digger to score today. Awaiting the snap is Hirschfeld. There it is. The kick is up, and that kick is good. 6:55 remaining, third quarter. Brush 35, the Academy 6 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Anthony Ramirez feels the kick at the 15, runs to his right across the 25 to the 30, has the sideline at the 40, cuts it back to the 50. Anthony Ramirez stutter steps to the 40, and he's down at the 35-yard line. Holy mahungus, a return of 52 yards for Anthony Ramirez before the Beet Diggers make the play. And now I think it's safe to say this is the worst special teams the Beet Diggers have had all season covering kicks.
Yeah, we're hurt, and I'll tell you what, that was a strong kick by Javier, though. The flag over there is standing up. The wind's coming out of the south. He's kicking against it. Man, he got it down the field. It's like a strong kick. He got down there so far and just kind of died and dropped right into Ramirez's hands. But the Diggers just not doing a good job of staying in their lanes over there on the right side.
1st and 10. The Academy has the football at the Beet Digger 35-yard line. Direct snap goes to Pita. He's going to hand it off. The ball is dropped, and then the ball is still loose, and the Beet Diggers have it. Mikey Gutierrez fell at the 40-yard line on the football, as it was never handled over there by Jonathan Marquez. And Brush recovers a fumble for the first time in this game. It's the 2nd turnover by the Academy.
He's the up back. He's the guy that's up there blocking, so they hiked it back there to their quarterback, and then he tried to give it an inside handoff to that blocking back that plays up there close to the line. And, it was just a bad mesh there because we had so much penetration. We had so much pressure there in their backfield.
1st and 10 for Brush at their own 40-yard line. They've already got 2 touchdowns. We're not even midway through the third quarter, 2 in this half, that is, and they lead 35-6. Jake Brown is the receiver to the left. Incredibly enough, like I mentioned, 5 different Beet Diggers have scored. And those are just weapons. Rosenbrock play action, looking to throw again. No pressure. Lofts it up the left side, and that pass is going to be caught by Nico Guzman. What a play! Inside the 30, spun down at about the 21-yard line, and over-the-shoulder catch. That was a gorgeous catch by Guzman on a very nice pass as well from Kyle Rosenbrock.
It fluttered a little bit, but it was a beautiful pass play. And Kyle threw it over there, out there, the only place he could, over his outside shoulder, close to the sideline. And man, Guzman had to look clear over the top to catch it. But again, all the props there to that offensive line, who's given Rosenbrock plenty of time to throw the ball.
Gain of 45 on that play. Well, Maverick Seawald's coming out limping. Hopefully he'll be okay, but he's obviously favoring. Looks like his back of the knee there on the left side. 1st and 10 for the Beet Diggers at the 20-yard line. Rosenbrock handoff right up the middle. Now taking it to the outside is Baker. Baker to the 10-yard line, still looking at the 5, and does he score? He does, as he was just looking for another seam to try to run through, and he found it, and Baker scores for the 2nd time of the game, this one from 20 yards out. Rush 41, the Academy 6.
So how's it looking for the Diggers now? You got Gutierrez with 8 carries, 129 yards. Baker, 8 carries, 107 yards. Rosenbrock's thrown the ball 9 times, completing 6 of those for 189 yards. Offensively, here we had that gloom and doom going at halftime, and boy, things are opening up.
Well, we mentioned they're a second-half team. That's not cliche-ish. Their last drive was a minute. This was 47 seconds. Extra point to be attempted. Perfect snap. Kick is up. A line drive, and that one is going to be off to the left. 5:53 to go. In the third quarter, Brush 41, the Academy 6 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Dave Urich back from Beet Digger Stadium in Brush. Brush 41, the Academy 6, 3 third-quarter touchdowns. The latest, a 20-yard run by Randy Baker, took 47 seconds on that two-play 65-yard drive. And there's a low line drive kick. And it'll bounce at the 25-yard line, and Marquez has it to the 32. And a correction, Dave, that'll be a 40-yard pass that Guzman caught. I had it at 45. 40-yard pass on the connection from Rosenbrock to Guzman, not 40 yards. They started he probably threw at 45 since he was retreating. Nonetheless, the Academy has the football now at their own 33-yard line.
Clay Shaver was the guy that hustled down the field and made the tackle again.
I owe you $1.
Yeah, he can't stop, can he?
Yeah, I owe you $1 now. And I didn't even say he wasn't going to make the tackle, but
I'll take it.
Yeah, we all could use it. From the 33, direct snap to Pita, running right, taking it to the outside, but unsuccessful. He's got a yard to the 34. As the Beet Diggers on that side were able to penetrate very nicely. 2 or 3 Beet Diggers out there to make the gang tackle. Second down. And we'll call it 8, a gain of a couple at the 35.
So you're talking about adjustments at halftime that the coaches do. Coach Creighton, the staff, they did a good job because that's the same play that went for 5, 9, and 8 yards, in the first half, and now he shuts it down right off the bat 2 times in a row.
Second down and 8, just shy of the 35-yard line. About 5:05 to go in the third quarter. Brush 41, the Academy 6 in the opening round of the 2A playoffs. Direct snap is going to go to Caswell, and he's going to be taken down by Kalen Brandt and Chase Klein, who finishes it off inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A loss of 6 yards in the play. Nobody touched Kalen Brandt.
He was in the backfield like an arrow. I didn't even see him get back there. It was like a gunshot because I didn't see, sometimes you see the player going, and then gone. That time it was like the play was snapped and he was there.
It'll be third down. And we'll call it 13 yards to go with the nose of the football just shy of the 30. More than likely a passing situation. Only one completion for the Academy. And there's the direct snap to Pita. Right up the gut. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage at the 33. A gain of 3. Fourth down and 10. And Zach Morgan is into punt for the Wildcats.
So Pita, 52 yards on 9 carries. He's had a decent day. One of the better attacks against the Diggers this season. But, now the Diggers are zeroed in on him, that's for sure.
Morgan standing at the 21. Baker at his own 30. There's the snap, another heavy rush, and he kicks it towards the sideline. This is going to go out of bounds in Beet Digger territory. A very nice punt by Morgan. He pinned the sideline at the 37-yard line. No return. A punt of 30 yards. And Brush is now 63 yards away from going to a running clock. With 3:47 to go in the third, leading the Academy 41-6. Got that
starting offense out there on the field. Rosenbrock's pulling that huddle together, and they're going to go for it.
And perhaps get the entire fourth quarter to a running clock. Kyle Rosenbrock has thrown touchdown passes to Brown, Guzman, and Brandt. Handoff right side to Baker to the 40-yard line, and he tries to ankle his way out of a tackle, and he does. I don't know how ankle's a verb, but I just used it there to the 44, maybe the 45. Give him 7 yards for Randy Baker as the tackle is made by J.J. Pita, second down and 3.
He just hops around and spins and jumps over the top of that tackler who was laying on his back, just holding on to his ankle. But again, that offensive line doing a good job of blocking for him, and they opened up with Fierro out there at that tackle, and I just saw that Seawald went back into the game.
Well, that's good because he was favoring the back of his knee and hamstring. He's still limping up to the line. Let's see how that affects him moving forward here. You certainly don't want to injure it when you're up by 35 points. Second down and 3 from the 44. Rosenbrock play action, looks to throw. Over the middle, the pass is dropped by Brandt to the 45. A little bit tall for Brandt. Third down and 3 to go for the Beet Diggers.
He showed his strength, though, didn't he? Because he's a tall kid. He's got those long arms. He reached up to catch the ball, and he just tried to strong arm it in, and you could tell he didn't cushion it into his body at all because he was looking to run with it.
Third down and a short 3. Just past the 44. More than likely, the Beet Diggers will run the football, and when the Diggers run it on third and short, they usually pick it up. And off right side. That's a first down for Aaron Williams inside the 50 to the 46-yard line. Barrels his way for 9 yards. Christian Johnson, who was hurt earlier in the game, was in on the play. 2:49 remaining third quarter. The Beet Diggers up by 35 points. You want your vehicle and farm equipment to be in top shape, so make sure you take care of them. Purchase the best quality parts and accessories. Great prices at your local Napa store. That's Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan. First and 10 for Brush at the 46-yard line of the Academy. Rosenbrock is going to hand it off to Williams on the right side along the sideline to the 40, and he barrels into a defender. First down at the 32, a gain of 14 as J.J. Pita made the play for the Wildcats.
Starting to get the guys in the backfield. I see Conrad Cole as a running back over here on the right side. Still have that starting offensive line in there blocking for those young backs.
As the football is at the 32-yard line, another score for the Beet Diggers, and this game will go to a running clock. Rush has done that already 5 times this season.
Peterson's out. He's got his helmet off. Guzman's got his helmet off. He even took Clay Shaver off the field.
First and 10 from the 32. Handoff, Cole tries to break out of a tackle inside the 30, down at the 28. It's a gain of 4 for Cole. And the Academy tackler was R.J. Sanchez, second down and 6.
Elias Raza heading out there. Cookie stepping in there at that left guard for Soto.
Second down and 6 from the 28-yard line. Accidents or illness can strike at any time, day or night. When they do, every second counts. It's a level 3 trauma center. Colorado Plains Medical Center can handle any kind of emergency. Handoff, Williams, right side of the 25, first down. And he's hit at the 19-yard line, a gain of 9 for Aaron Williams. Sanchez makes the tackle. And Williams not easy to bring down, as the Academy is proving.
Oh, yeah, 9 yards, 14 yards, and 9 yards. So 32 yards already for him.
We're down to a minute 18 to go in the third quarter. The Beet Diggers have already scored 20 points, 3 touchdowns in this quarter, looking for a fourth. First and 10 at the 19-yard line of the Wildcats. Olin Williams remain in the backfield. Jake Brown, the receiver, to the left. On first down, there's the give to Williams right side at the 15-yard line. They try to strip him unsuccessfully as he dives to the 13. Sanchez and Pita in on the play, a gain of 6. Second down and 4. And we're coming up more than likely in the final play of the third quarter.
That time they ran over there behind Nichols and Rodriguez and Clay Shaver. They're tied in and just having a lot of luck over there, but they're starting to rotate some guys in there on that side of the ball as well. One of them's Nick Bondi. He's out there, number 78, playing right tackle for Nichols.
Maltos Garcia, now the new quarterback, with 18 seconds to go, and we have a timeout called by Brush. We do. We'll keep it right here, brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance, Home Auto Life and Health. Give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555. With 19.2 seconds to go, third quarter, Beet Diggers are just looking for one more score to shorten the game even more. The Academy strategy certainly worked for the first half, keeping it fairly tight, but now Brush has opened it up mightily here in the third.
Tristan Bullock, he's rotated into the game. He's number, looks like 53. Be playing that guard position on the right side, right there in between Tristan Peter at center and Bondi there at right tackle.
Second down and 4 for the Beet Diggers at the 13-yard line. The backs are split. Cole and Williams. There's the give to Cole right up the middle, and he dives to the 10, running hard and low. was Conrad Cole. It's a gain of 3. They'll make it 3rd and 1. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Rush 41, the Academy 6. You're listening to the opening round of the 2013 Class 2A playoffs on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Dave Urig, as we head to the fourth quarter of this 2A opening round game from Beet Digger Stadium in Brush. The Beet Diggers leading 41-6 over the Academy. And now setting up a 3rd and 1 from the Academy 10-yard line. And it looks like if they keep running, it's either going to be Aaron Williams or Conrad Cole that will score. Santos Garcia certainly on the bootleg could do something. 3rd and 1. This will be a handoff. Williams right side of the 5. He barrels towards the end zone, and he is in for a touchdown. Aaron Williams from 10 yards out. 5 seconds into the fourth quarter. Beet Diggers 47, Wildcats 6. And now we've gone to a running clock.
Just running over there on that right side. Been having a lot of good luck over there and doing it behind that junior varsity line out there. And just proud of those guys being able to block and go against this varsity unit of Academy.
Javier Munoz to attempt the extra point. Off the hold of Ryan Hirschfeld. Awaiting the snap. And the kick is up by Munoz. Kick is good. Under a running clock inside of 11 minutes to go in the game, the Beet Diggers now lead by a score of 48-6. Dave, I thought we wouldn't get to this point early on. But, again, second half team, 3 touchdowns in the third, now 1 to open up the fourth. And we'll see all the second teamers out there for the remainder of the game. Valuable playoff experience.
Betcha. I like, it was tight there in that first half, but, just like you said, it's just a credit to this coaching staff. They have, all those guys have a lot of playing experience of their own at the next level. And then all the years that they've stuck together, they've just built that bond between them to where they know what needs to happen. They can go into half and make those kind of adjustments that shut teams down. Other teams, their kids are at a disadvantage. Our kids have a huge advantage. We don't have to have we have the best athletes this year, but we don't need the best athletes to be one of the best teams in the state because our coaches put our kids in a position to win.
That's certainly a key. Javier Munoz to kick it off. That's part of the academic portion of the game. And there's a line drive off of Zach Morgan, fielded at the 29, running across the 30 towards the sideline at the 34-yard line, and then take it down by several Beet Diggers. Tackle was made by Edgar Rojas. That was Isaiah Sanchez for the Academy. And we probably have about, unless a timeout is called or an injury occurs, we're looking at probably about 10 plays left in the entire game, even though under a running clock, we have 9 minutes and 23 seconds to go. The Academy has the football 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
See Ray Miller's out there, Clay Shaver, Junior Barraza, Edgar Rojas.
And there's the direct snap to Joey Ray, running right up the gut. He's down at the 38-yard line for a gain of 3. And the Beet Digger getting up is Aaron Williams, who was in on the hit. 2nd down and 7 to go. Well, it's good for other teams to see the score, Dave. You knew the Beet Diggers were dominant, but as the top seed, will they play down to their level of competition? That answer was no, and they didn't come close to punting today. 2nd down and 7 from their own 38. Caswell and Ray in that backfield. One of those two will get the direct snap. Well, they might pass the football here. There was a tap of the helmet on the right side. And running right is Caswell to the 40-yard line. And he's going to be hit at the 43 and down at the 44 for a gain of 6, short of a first down. We think our tacklers were Tristan Volk and Omar Fierro. Well, Aaron Williams also in on the play. 3rd down and a long one.
See Wyatt Coleman out there, Conrad Cole.
The ball just shy of the 44-yard line. 3rd and 1 to go for the Academy. Direct snap is going to go underneath Ray, and then going to have to be chased down at the 29-yard line, and down at the 31 is Pita. That's a massive loss of 14 yards for Pita. And all of a sudden, a 3rd and 1 becomes a 4th down and 14.
Yeah, it takes him back to 38 yards as well on 10 carries. Diggers put Maltos back there to receive this punt. He's dangerous. You're going to be punting against a strong wind.
Maltos Garcia standing at his own 24-yard line.
Down to too far back.
Yeah, and that's a low snap. Here comes the rush. He gets it off a fluttering punt. Ball will drop at the 43-yard line, take an Academy roll. Maltos Garcia will let it go down to the 30-yard line, where it's down over there by Anthony Ramirez. Beat Diggers have the football for perhaps their final drive of the game with under 7 minutes to go.
Maltos comes out of the game. Looks like Hirschfeld's going to run that huddle now.
Yeah, you got to love that. He is a senior, so to participate in a playoff game other than being the holder is certainly very important for him. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Yeah, Williams and Cole, they run like they're starters, Dave. That's how solid these guys are. And off to Williams, off left tackle to the 35. Up the sideline to the 45. Is he going to go to the 40? Williams still on his feet, and he was stepped out of bounds. If not, he would have been gone as he was being pursued by Isaiah Sanchez. I know he's not too happy about that, but he does put together a nice gain. Gain of 32 yards to the 38-yard line for Aaron Williams.
Yeah, he was off to the races there, wasn't he?
Well, by the same token, there was pursuit from behind, and it's not easy to stay in bounds. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line of the Academy. Beat Diggers last week won 54-8, of 48-6 right now. Hirschfeld to hand it off, and the ball is loose, and it's pounced upon by Williams. The handoff was to Conrad Cole, but there was a bobble by Hirschfeld, and the play basically went haywire after that. A loss of 3. 2nd down and 13 to go for Brush.
Yeah, Cole was going to be wide open, too, running that dive. It was just a 25 dive over here on this left side. Man, he was going to be off to the races as well, but looked like he took the handoff on his hip.
Fort Morgan Mustangs won their regular season finale 29-18 over Vista Peak today in Aurora. There's the give on the right side, and that is to Bostrom, his first carry. That is Hunter Bostrom across the 40 to the 38, a gain of 3. 3rd down and 10 to go, and we've got an injury to an Academy player, Devin Caswell. He's in a lot of pain over there. And that's what will stop the clock. If there's an injury, the clock does stop.
There's enough pain to where our trainer ran across the field over there.
Well, there's pain, and then there's excruciating pain, and that's what it looks like with Caswell by the way he's reacting.
Yeah, his feet are flopping around out there as he sways from side to side. He's out there where, I don't know what would have happened because it must have been from our wide receiver blocking him because there was no real action out there as we were running the ball straight ahead in between our tackles.
It'll be 3rd down and 10 from the 38 when play resumes, and now he appears to be okay.
A little bit like the Redskins the other day against the Broncos, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
Wanted to stop the clock, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, part of the strategy. Stop, shop, and save on all your grocery needs and snacks for game time enjoyment. You can also pay your public service bill and access Western Union Brush Grocery Card, 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. Yeah, they do that in soccer, those fake injuries, because you're running around the whole time.
Right.
And the guy gets carried off on a stretcher, headed to the hospital, is back in the game in 5 minutes.
Scores a goal and takes his shirt off.
I think it's crazy. All right, 3rd down and 10 from the 38-yard line for the Beat Diggers in Academy territory as the clock is running once again. Man in motion to the right. Williams right side to the 35, and he backs his way to the 32 as he maintained his balance after being hit. And let's call it a gain of 6. 4th down and a short 4 to go.
He's a big kid, 175 pounds, but he's got some speed. You remember his brother, Thomas Perez.
Yep.
Real good running back for the Diggers a few years ago.
4th down And we'll call it a short 4 from the 32-yard line. 3:52 to go in the game. Hirschfeld will pitch it left. Running room for Conrad Cole. First down to the 25. Stops. Maintains his balance at the 15. Take it down at the 14. And it's a first down for the Beet Diggers. After that run of 18 yards for Conrad Cole as Anthony Ramirez made the play.
Giovanni Garcia out there blocking. Then we also have another kid out there, number 6. I'm not sure who that is, but he did a good job blocking upfield. That's how deep this team is. They're going to parts of the roster that we don't even have.
First and 10 from the 14-yard line. The Diggers have plenty of time to score. 3:10 to go in the game, up 48-6. Man in motion to the right. Hirschfeld turns, hands it off to Bostrom, stutter steps, and then lunges towards the 11. He was tackled by Jared Abramson, a junior. Gain of 3, just shy of the 10. We'll call it the 11. Second down and 7.
Ostrom is fast. I'll tell you what, you give him a little bit of room, and he's strong enough he can break some of those arm tackles out there.
Second down and 7 at the 11. Hirschfeld will hand it off to Williams at the 10, running to the 5. He breaks a tackle still on his feet, and he powers his way inside the 5 to the 2. A gain of 9, first and goal for the Beet Diggers, as Aaron Williams picked up the yardage.
Takes him up to 98 yards today here in the fourth quarter. Some other names out there, Daniel Macias, Diego Lopez rotating in.
Well, the Beet Diggers done on the scoreboard because they still have 2 minutes to go in the game. Now, if they score on this play, the game is over literally with the clock after the extra point. If they don't score, they might just take a knee. We'll see what the Beet Diggers decide to do for the 2. Handoff Williams left side. He's held up, and he's not going to make it. Got to the 1, a gain of 1. With a minute 39 to go. I mean, there's still enough time, that you could actually go for it.
And they might as well let these guys punch the ball in. Try to get as many plays off as we can.
Yeah, there will be no ensuing kickoff. We know that. Second and goal from the 1. With a minute 16 to go, Hirschfeld hands it off to Bostrom. He's into the end zone for a Beet Digger touchdown. It's another Beet Digger touchdown, their 8th of the game. Rush 54, the Academy 6.
The Boston's so strong. They did put a lick on him there, but it didn't knock him down. He was standing up when he was headed back to the bench.
Oh, they'll kick the extra point. The game will be over. Clock is running with 48 seconds to go. As Javier Munoz has made every one but one. He also missed a 33-yard field goal at the end of the half. But he's done his job. Hirschfeld awaits a snap. There it is. It's a perfect snap. The kick is up. And the kick is good. 55-6 will be the final score. We're still in a running clock with 20 seconds to go as the Beet Diggers have won their opening round Class 2A playoff game. We'll take a break and come back with a recap on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Dave Urich back from Beet Digger Stadium in Brush in this opening round playoff game. The Beet Diggers defeat the Academy 55-6 as the Beet Digger post-game show is brought to you by Buildings by Design. Knowing who you can trust to do a good job is the tough part nowadays, but when you hire Buildings by Design, you can trust you'll get the building you want when you want it and at the quality you deserve. Start your build project right. Start with Buildings by Design. The Beet Diggers led 21-6 at the break and outscored the Academy 34-0 in the second half for the 55-6 victory. We'll go through the scoring drives momentarily, but first to Dave with the team and individual stats. Dominated certainly even more so by the Beet Diggers in the second half as opposed to the first half.
Right, I would say it comes down to defensive domination, too. We talked about halftime adjustments, and Coach Creighton brought it today. You know, Academy had 25 plays in the first half. They only had 35 plays overall. The first half they had 85 total yards, and when they ended the game, they only had 80 total yards.
Yeah.
Ended up with 75 yards in the first half on the ground. At the end of the game, they only had 70 yards on the ground. So not a lot of changes there. Ramirez had 1 carry for -8. Pita had 10 carries for 38 yards. Caswell had 5 carries for 9 yards. Sanchez had a -3. Marquez had a -2. Ray ended up being their guy with 13 carries, 42 yards. He threw the ball twice, one interception. Caswell threw the ball once. He completed that pass, and then he had a negative run for 6 yards.
All right, let's go through the Beet Diggers side of the ledger. They certainly were successful on the ground and even through the air.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, in the air, Rosenbrock was on fire. He went 6 for 10, 184 yards. He had Brown 2 catches, 86 yards with that big 180-yard pass touchdown play. Guzman had 2 catches for 45 yards. Baker had 1 catch for 5 yards, and Brand had a 49-yard touchdown pass. So Rosenbrock really lit it up today. Accurate throwing, and 2. Remember, he went 6 for 10, but 2 of those passes should have been caught.
And very solid on the ground, even with Aaron Williams, who ended up carrying the football more than some of the starters, than all the starters.
Right. That offensive line really did the job today. Rosenbrock didn't have to run the ball at all. He was never flushed out of the pocket, so he didn't have to take off with it. And like you said, we had some big runs there. Aaron Williams came in late in the game, 99 yards on 10 carries. He had the most carries out of everybody today. And he did that in the fourth quarter. Baker had 9 carries for 114 yards. Mikey Gutierrez was our offensive leader on the ground with 129 yards on 8 carries. A lot of that was a 50-yard touchdown run that he had, and another 36-yarder right after that. Conrad Cole had 2 carries for 8 yards, and Bostrom had 3 carries for 7 yards there at the end of the game.
All right, let's bring in the head coach of the Beet Diggers, Randy Dreitz, with his team now sitting at 9-0 after beating the Academy in this opening round playoff game for Beet Digger Stadium, 55-6, a game in which the Beet Diggers led at the break, 21-6. They did not punt today. In fact, the only time they got stopped was essentially by the clock, even though they tried a field goal before the end of the opening half that was missed wide left there by Javier Munoz. But, Coach, when you got to halftime in this game and you're up by 15, we're used to you're up by 20, 30 points at the break. What was the message to a team that clearly came out and played even a much better second half than a first half?
Well, I think they were trying to delay the game. I mean, they wouldn't snap the ball till it was 5 seconds left before they, had to run the play. We're just trying to keep it close, and that was probably smart on their part. But it was good for our kids. I was, you get so wound up emotionally because it's such an emotional game. But I went in at halftime and I told them, this is good for you because you've been used to just having your way with play, a lot of teams lately, and this is good for you. I'm glad this is happening to you because this is what the playoffs is about. And you get to the playoffs, and it's going to be battles, and we got to be able to overcome situations, whether it's a good play on their part or we messed up somehow on our part, but we've got to be able to overcome those, and the next play is the most important. So I thought it was a good little lesson for us, and, they sure took care of business the second half, and we got on our defense a little bit about some things we need to do differently, and I thought it was a much better performance by our defense the second half, although they did hurt themselves with some fumbles the second half, and we were able to take advantage of it. Man, I thought Kyle threw the ball really well today.
Yeah, I mean, he was on target. In fact, he almost had another touchdown pass there to Alec Peterson. Why, in your mind, has he developed so well, considering that in the first few games of the season there were problems with touch, no touchdown passes through the air, and all of a sudden he goes into the playoffs with 10 touchdown passes and 3 more today. And the route running has also been very impressive because some of these receivers have been wide open, and Kyle has found his receivers very successfully.
Yeah, Kyle's done a great job. I think a lot of it is this is his first year playing quarterback since middle school, and it takes a little bit of time and adjustment. And it's very difficult to play quarterback and play linebacker. I mean, it's 2 different beasts, and I kind of went through that with my own son, and he admits to me that it's difficult to do because you got to be that calm and cool and collected quarterback, composed, and then on defense as a linebacker, you're go get them type guy, and intensity levels way high, and you're going after it, and so it's a difficult position to do that we put Kyle in this year, but I think he's a great kid, and he's an outstanding athlete and can do a great job. And today he got to concentrate on being a quarterback, and we've been working extremely hard during the week on his mechanics of throwing, and I think it showed really well. And the other thing that helps tremendously is our offensive line was giving him time to throw the ball and didn't have to hurry things. And so, when you have that sure does help the quarterback, and Kyle has been doing a great job. And, the other thing I'm impressed with, he's able to change plays, and he can read what they're doing a lot, and he does change some plays once in a while that are huge, and I can't tell you how important that is for us in our offense.
The offense was very consistent today. The defense played better in the second half as this Academy team really had no drives of any significance. But you're always looking for things to improve upon, as we talk about each and every week. And I'm sure that with kickoff coverage, that certainly was an area that you're not happy with here going into the second playoff game this Saturday.
Most definitely, and that's going to get a long, hard look at this week in practice, and we're going to spend some time on it. That's so important. We gave way too good a field position today, and it's not just coverage, it's kicking too. I mean, many times we tell them to kick to a certain area, and we don't, and we kick it to right where we don't want it to go. And so we definitely going to have to work on that and, find somebody that can put that ball where we need it. And we've got to address that, and because that could be a game changer in a close game, and we've got to get great coverage. And I was really pleased about it so far at this point in the season, but today I was not, and maybe it's something we got to reevaluate and take a look at, and we're definitely going to get better at it.
Finally, Coach, what about you had a couple of chances today to return kicks, and I know that Randy Baker does the majority of the special teams on returns, but Admildo Matos Garcia had a couple of very impressive returns today, and he's another weapon despite the fact that he's only a sophomore that you can rely on.
Yeah, he does a great job for us, and he's got good vision. He's got some quickness to him, and he's just a great athlete, and it's great to have him back there. We have had Kyle back there this year, but we took him off and let Arnaldo Matos Garcia get a chance at it, and he did a great job for us. In fact, I thought that one he was going to break. Coach Schwint was giving him a hard time. If you were 0.2 of a second faster, you would have broke that for a touchdown. But it's all in good fun, and I was glad to see him play as well as he did, and he did a great job for us, I think.
Randy, congratulations on another playoff win.
Thank you very much.
That's Brushhead football coach Randy Dreises. The Beat Diggers have been in the playoffs 12 consecutive years. They've got a playoff win, at least one playoff win every year, with the exception of the 2007 season. Beat Diggers won handily today. Let's go through the scoring drives as Brush scored just 3.5 minutes into the game, 3 plays, 40 yards in 47 seconds. Mikey Gutierrez from 3 yards out. It was 7-0 as the PAT was good. Jake Brown, 2 plays later, came through with an interception. Brush would counter 11 plays, 42 yards in 6 minutes and 8 seconds. Nico Guzman with a 3-yard TD catch, and the PAT made it 14-0. The Academy ran a 9-play drive, but unsuccessfully in the end. Jake Brown with an 80-yard touchdown catch, 60 on the run. PAT was good. It was 21-0. That was midway through the second quarter. And then just before the break, an 11-play drive that went 6 minutes and 42 seconds, only 50 yards to cover 6:42, and a 10-yard touchdown catch by Ramirez. That would be Anthony Ramirez off the pass from Devin Caswell. It was 21-6. The 2-point conversion was no good. Then the Beat Diggers just blew it open in the second half. Randy Baker with a 6-yard touchdown run. Drive that took less than a minute, making 28-6 at that point. Kalen Branch with a 49-yard touchdown catch. 20 of those was via the run, and it was 35-6 at that point. 20-yard run by Randy Baker, his second TD of the game on another short drive. It was 41-6 as the PAT was missed. Beat Diggers would get 2 more touchdowns, a 10-yard run by Aaron Williams, capping off a 9-play, 63-yard drive in less than 4 minutes, and then the 1-yard run in the final play of the game by Hunter Bostrom. And Brush improves to 9-0. The Academy season is done at 4-6 on the year as the Beat Diggers win it going away by a 55-6 score. Now the bottom line is if Florence holds on to defeat Strasburg, as those two teams are in action in Florence, and the Beat Diggers will host Florence. If Strasburg comes back to win that game, then the Beat Diggers would go to Strasburg. And right now, with 10 minutes to go in the game, Florence leading 26-20. So Florence 26, Strasburg 20, with 10 minutes to go in the game. The sound engineer and producer of Brush Beat Digger Football has been Rose Condas, replay engineer Alan Lance, and our coordinating producer has been Brandy Ingersoll. For Dave Urich, I'm John Beltran. The final score of this opening round Class 2A playoff game from Beat Digger Stadium in Brush. The Beat Diggers 55, the Academy Wildcats 6 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.